So here we are today. I got Turner Cavender.
What's up?
How are you?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me in. I appreciate this. I remember last time we did a podcast together.
Yeah, we were on yours.
Yeah,
now the
I'm
roles
on.
reversed.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Studio setup.
So it was cool last time. We get right in. So we'll go through a few things about your life, who you are. But last time you had not just started in real estate, but that was probably 6-8 months ago.
Yeah, 8 months ago. I was fresh into the industry, man.
How's that going?
It's good. I've always tried to stay humble with things, but sometimes I got to give myself some credit.
Yeah.
Coming from the last industry, which was fitness industry, into a whole different ball game. Now it's like telling people I don't do push-ups. I do homes.
Yeah.
I've done pretty well in knowing that the 98% of the people that come into real estate probably don't do their first transaction to about 6 to 8 months in, and I have 6 transactions in 8 months.
Wow! Congratulations.
So I'm very happy about that. And the reason being is because of trust that people come to me that we're going to get into conversation we're having before we push the record today. It was mainly just because of people trusting me and then just being me.
Yeah.
And then we'll get into deeper things of that. But I'm very happy with where I'm at. Obviously, I want it to be better.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep pushing.
I'm fresh in. I'm not even a year in yet, so
That's crazy.
I'm working into it.
Well, I see it. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of yours on social media. We discussed that a little bit. I love seeing what you do, and I can relate to it, what you're doing. And so, I'm a huge fan. I would thought you'd been in real estate longer, with what you're doing. I would have thought you'd been in real estate. Me personally, I would have thought you'd been in 2 or 3 years, just seeing what you're doing. So, and I have a pretty good source that said you're doing really well, actually. So that's good, man. Congratulations to you.
Thank you
so
very much.
For the people that don't know, where are you at in real estate? Who are you with?
I'm with Rogers Healing Associates.
And you've been there 8 months, you said?
I've been with him. I got my license, and he was the first person I went to. I've
Cool.
known him for a little bit. He's known some of my family members, so we just kind of have the same good personality, and he's got a good rep in the area. So I wanted to be with somebody that was one of the best reps in town and prestigious. Yeah. And I just like to be the best, and he's up there. He's the best.
And generally good dude, right? Just generally good dude. You can see that.
Yeah. So here's another way. I was the same way at my office when I had my gyms, because I own 2 gyms, and I was the same way with he was. Busy as all get out, and he's got people coming at him all the time. And every single time I would knock on his door, he'd be doing something, but he always had time to talk. And that's huge.
Yeah, it's huge.
Because you too, right? You got 5-10 things coming at you at once, and sometimes because this always happens, it's a Murphy's Law, right? You're not doing anything, you're not busy, no one bugs you, but then all of a sudden 10 people hit you at once, and then everybody wants it, right? So it just, I see, I've had that experience where I've been busy and I made time for people when they needed to talk.
It goes a long way for people, and they don't realize that. They think leadership is a position or some special talent. It's just fucking caring about people, man.
Yeah.
That was the thing is I genuinely care for everybody that's around me. If you work for Results Roofing, I generally feel like that I work for you. You don't work for me. Mm-hmm. And I try to respond to that text. Last night I'm playing Star Wars with my kid, and Daddy, I don't want you to, and I'm on the phone trying to help a rep at 10:18 at night. And he's like, I'm sorry for the late call. I'm like, hey, you obviously felt it was so important you had to text me. Mm-hmm. I'm going to make time for you, right? You didn't just come to me. I don't think you intentionally wasted my time, and I've seen that in leaders that they think when someone knocks on that door, you're like, I'm busy. How dare you waste my time? Yeah. To that person that knocked on your door, that was the most important thing in their life at that moment. Yeah. Just at least give them something, right? Whether it's 5 minutes, hey man, can I call you right back? Can I text you right back?
Relationships is big in anything, no matter what you're doing, whether it's your love life, a friendship, business. Relationships is what humans are basically built on.
Yeah,
relationships.
Absolutely.
Whether it's good or bad, it's all about relationships.
It's all relationships.
And people, and for those of you that are salesmen or people that say they're not salesmen, everybody's a salesman, no matter what you say. You sell your wife on what you want to get.
Yeah. Sold my wife on marrying me.
Yeah, yeah, that too. I mean, you're a salesperson regardless. So it's all about relationships, and those people buy into what you are doing, regardless of what it is.
Yeah. They buy.
That's
They
what
buy.
it boils down to.
Yeah, who you are. And people buy from who you are. Look, we had a conversation before. I was like, hey man, because I see you always with your wife. I see you even when you have friends around, your wife's there. When you go out, your wife's there. I respect that. I love that. That's how me and my family are. So if I'm going to buy a home from my family, I want to buy it from another family man. That's just family man or woman. I want to buy from people I relate to, right? So let's go way back, man. Let's start. Where are you from? I know you own some gyms, but let's talk about way back before that. Like a kid, where you from? How were you as a kid?
We're gonna get deep here, man.
Yeah.
So, originally from DeSoto, Texas.
Okay, local kid.
Yeah, and then I moved to Mesquite. My mother met my stepfather, and we moved to Mesquite. He was a Dallas police department for like 38 years. Lived in Mesquite, and then they built a house in Sunnyvale. And I went to high school in Mesquite. But backing up a little bit, when I was a kid, I was born with severe hearing loss.
Really?
So when I was a kid, it was a disability. It was a very rough, dark time for me. Wasn't able to make many friends because I just couldn't hear them really well. And so when I was 6 years old, I got my hearing aids and all that stuff, and it helped a lot. But
when did you get when did you figure that out?
Just
Is it all your life, really?
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I was just born with nerve damage, the temporal lobe, which is your auditorial lobe. It's on the side of your head here. I don't have cochlear implants, anything like that. I was just born with nerve damage.
Okay.
And so that's long story being short. Basically, is that created me to be very angry child, very not confident kid.
Like insecure, the anger came from the insecurity, or how what were you angry at? Just that?
I was angry because I felt like I was behind everyone, and I hated asking people to repeat the same question over and over. Like, it's the biggest pet peeve of mine, because I know that person's like, oh, repeat it again. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm just trying to get by, and I couldn't read very well, couldn't speak very well. A lot of things I was just behind. And today I make a lot of funny jokes. I rode the shit out of that short bus. I had a good time back then. I think
it was a party.
It was a front and back all the time. But growing up, I was just a very angry person, which means I couldn't do a lot of team sports. And so with that, I couldn't hear the coach. So I was a fast kid. You could catch me if I got the ball, but I didn't know which way to run. When I was playing football. I run all the run play wrong ways.
Run the wrong way.
But so I just got out of that, and I got into individual sports like running. Motocross is one of the things that I was very successful at, and that taught me a lot of self-discipline. And that self-discipline brought me into my entrepreneurship that I live today. But through this time, once I started my first gym back in 2013, I still was kind of an angry person, and I started doing a lot of self-help, self-improvement. I've had some great leaders to become my coaches. Bedros Keuilian from California, he's one of the franchise owners that I was with when I first started my own gym, and I started doing a lot of stuff with that. But I started being able to find myself loving who I am and seeing rewards of that coming through my career. Because I was able to love myself enough to give back to someone else, right? And everyone's probably heard this, that you can't help somebody, or you can't be in a healthy relationship unless you are happy with yourself. You can't.
Yeah.
You might think you are,
but you're not. But
somehow it's going to come up or blow up and affect that relationship with your client or your loved one or your family, okay? And my poor mom and my father and my stepdad had to deal with just an explosive, angry person.
How would that how would that be? Would you blow up on people? Was it blow up, destroy things, destructive?
All the
above.
I was reactive to situations.
Everything?
I wasn't proactive to things. I was just reactive, and I would just
and everything was a problem. Everything was the end of the world.
Yeah,
Type,
I didn't take ownership. So once I was able to figure out who I am, I went through therapy and stuff too. I checked myself into it.
How old were you when you did that?
My mom did it the first time when I was a kid, anger management.
And you were probably angry at her for it too.
Yeah, it was awkward for me because
Yeah.
I didn't understand. I think I was like 15, 16, 17, something like that. And then when I was after I graduated college, I think I was like 23 is when I did it. Now I'm 36. When I was 23 years old, I checked myself into, I had good enough insurance to pay for my therapy.
Yeah.
So I started going weekly, and it helped a lot. And with that being said, I found myself in that is that I wanted to help people be the best version of myself. And that's kind of like the intro that's on my YouTube. Basically explains everything in that 1 minute and 47-second video. Is finding out who you are, where you want to go, and spreading more positivity in this negative world that we live in.
Yeah.
And that's where that was where my passion started in my gym, is helping other people feel good about themselves, because that's where it all started. I started my gym so I could help that one person be a better version of themselves, whether it's fitness or mental. And then I was like, well, I can only help that person within an hour, so I'm going to go to semi-private. I'll get like 2 to 3 or 4 people at a time within that hour, right? And then I got to the point where I was able to have enough of those clients so I could start my own studio, and I could train up to 10 to 30 people at a time within that hour. And then I got to the point where I was able to have up to 50 people in a 30-minute time frame and keep turning that. And then I got to the point where, in my head, I was taking on new trainers that had never been a coach before. I got them certified. Whether they were coaching in my gym or outside of my doors of my gym, I felt like in my heart that I was impacting people, more lives, and that was kind of my passion. And then from there, the Jamodi podcast was born, which is completely stands for Just a Matter of Doing It. And what it's all about is spreading more positivity and helping another person take that positive step forward. That's basically kind of been my passion. And I've always wanted to meet that one person to treat like a queen. Kids are not in my future, but I'm going to be the greatest uncle, and I'm the best with the kids.
Yeah.
But I've always just wanted to, because when I was racing, I was very successful at it, and I was traveling a lot. I always just was sitting in most amazing places and looking to my right and my left, and nobody was there, and I just wanted to be able to share that with, I know I'm going to get a lot of backlash from what I'm about to say, but I wanted to share that with my queen and don't have any limitations.
Yeah.
Now, when my first date with my wife, now today, I asked her, I told her, I said, this is either going to be a fling or it's going to be a long-term thing. There's no kids going to be in my future. And luckily, she said she agreed, because she was a stepmother for about 4 or 5 years. Yeah. And she just doesn't want kids right now. So
it's a huge thing, man. I got 2 of the little Rugrats.
Yeah,
you saw one of them just running through here asking for
Yeah.
Dr. Pepper and Skittles. I'm like, you're already jacked up on everything. Last thing, but I'm like, don't tell mom. You can just have whatever you want. Just like, go tell Uncle Turner. He's gonna say, you want to be an uncle? There you go.
I'll take the blame for that one.
So where do you think? I was always intrigued about people that generally like helping people. Right? It's, you can say you want to help people.
Yeah.
You can say you want to do this and you want to do that, or I like helping people. And I interviewed a guy the other day. He said, I enjoy helping people. I was, oh great, how do you help them?
Yeah.
And he just looked at me, had no answer. I'm like, wait a minute, I wasn't trying to put him on the spot. I was just generally. So for you, you made a comment about I like, even if they weren't training with my gym, I thought they were helping people. Where do you think that came from? Do you think it came from the struggles you had as a child, or where do you think that came from, where you had that passion to help people?
You're getting good at this podcast thing, man. Good. You circled back.
Yeah.
I like it. It's exactly where it came from. Basically, all of that, everything that I do today was fueled by my past. Okay, fueled by my past. I don't look back on it as a crutch, but it was fueled by my past, meaning that when I was a child, I had no self-esteem, I had no friends, and all I wanted to do was be confident. And today I can truly say I'm one of the most confident guys you will meet on the street. And if you don't like me, I will probably tell you to go fuck off, because I have no reason for you not to like me. And that comes with confidence. And we'll get into that in a second, where my confidence came from.
Yep.
Okay. But 100%, I want to help people be not the way I was when I was a kid.
Yep.
Okay. Now, that was the fitness industry. right? Now I'm in the real estate industry, which has no relation at all, right?
Yeah.
You can't really help people like
So
that in real.
it's different. And didn't you went into roofing for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
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 You just went in I don't know why that just triggered, but
Yeah.
and you said you went into that because I was in fitness for years too, 15, 16 years. So
Yeah, I did.
yeah. How long were you in roofing?
I did roofing and door knocking for about 5 months. And the main reason for that was to pay the bills for my facility gyms that were being directly hit because of the COVID situation that was going on. The government shut our gyms down. And so landlords were still expecting rent. And so I was also a good-hearted person, and I kept my staff on payroll. And I used that in my savings, and so I was knocking doors basically to pay my people, and also to keep the doors open.
Wow!
I didn't really pocket a penny, literally at all.
From roofing, or
not from roofing at all, not one penny.
God. So you were a roofer bro for 5 or 6 months, and you didn't not one penny.
Not a penny for me.
Yeah.
Not a penny for
me. Because it went to everything.
It went to everything else.
How did you get through that, man? I obviously have a ton of ties to the fitness industry. I was there for, like I said, 15, 16 years. Yeah. I have just a ton. I can't imagine, too, especially the boot camp, right? You're doing like a boot camp. I don't want to call it boutique, but that's, it's.
Yeah, it's exactly what the gym was. It was a small group personal training studio.
Yeah, it's family, man. Those are. I love, I do MMA, and I feel like it's my family, and I love that. I still go to my Lifetime, and I go to my big gyms to do some things, but I love that mom and pop, if you will. You feel like you know people. How did you get through that, man? Because you made it out on the other side, and I know you're in a different industry, but how did you get through that? Do you think some of that was from when you were a kid? I know you used those challenges, but man, when you got shut down, what was your immediately thought? Like what crossed your mind? You're like, this is it. This is all. What went on?
The first thing that hit my head was I spent 15 years. I got a college degree for this, and it's all just been shattered. But being that it's a quick mover and such a tech geek that I am, I was able to move into the online industry very quickly without having to pay anybody because I already had the equipment because I'm a nerd when it comes to technology. And everybody knew that. So I went to the online training and stuff, but regardless, people like people interactions. So it took a huge hit. But what I did is I went on a search to try to find a solution for my members, my fitness family.
Yeah.
Okay. I sold my gym to another man that was down the road that been doing very well. He has a better area, and his gym was way nicer than mine. Okay. His gym is like a small boutique Equinox.
Okay.
So hear me out on this. My gym charged dramatically cheaper prices than his gym. Okay. His gym has an amazing 24-hour access facility like an Equinox with sauna, showers, lockers, infrared, 3D. I mean, it has everything you want. I basically sold all my members to him and my equipment to them. So my members, and he honored the prices that I was charging to those people to have memberships at his gym 4 blocks down the street. And I basically gave it to him basically nothing.
Yeah.
I just needed to wash my hand and pay the debt that I had for the equipment. And my members upgraded their membership, and I was able to basically feel in my own heart that I didn't fail them.
Yeah, it's incredible.
They all signed up with me. Most of them signed up with me to be with me for a year to see results in that 12 months period. Well, during that 12-month period, I followed up on everything I could do. I was open to them to do their online classes, and then I gave them an upgrade in their membership. 4 blocks down the street. Nobody should complain about that.
Yeah.
Better business building and area, to be honest.
You're like, I'll sign up.
Yeah. And so that's kind of how I got through that. I basically, in my mind and heart, in my mind's eye, that I upgraded their fitness experience to a better place without me failing them.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I got through it. It was hard for me to do that, but when you get married and you have kids, I'll never know the kids thing, but I know it's way drastic than having a wife. But my new focus was being that two-way highway financially for me and my wife, not just a one-way highway where she's bringing the finances in. I had to think about both of us, not just me. And so I made a move from the fitness industry to the real estate industry and help all those members that I do know with their real estate needs. And my huge network of just business owners I know. I have a better network in businesses and business owners than I do people I feel like that have houses. I know everybody has houses, but everybody has a realtor that does residential. Not everybody has a realtor that does commercial.
Yep.
And obviously I know I've done commercial because I've been a renter in commercial buildings. So I understand it, and I also understand how you have to be structured to get either buy a commercial real estate spot or lease one.
Yeah.
So lately I've done 5 residentials. I'm about to close on 1 commercial, and I have 3 other commercial deals in line. I have more commercial deals than I do residential.
Oh, man. Congrats.
And
I love
it's really exciting. You know, obviously they're getting close to fruition. Commercial takes longer than residential. I'm going to be honest with you. Everybody knows this. Commercial is way harder than residentials because you're going to learn this from your wife. Your contracts are pretty much done for you in residential. You just fill in the blanks. Commercial, there's lawyers involved. There's all kinds of things you got to do. I got to hit the street. There's no MLS really for commercial. You got to hit the street and look for it, just like door knocking.
You're door knocking.
You're pretty much doing the same thing commercial, but the hard work is rewarded.
Yeah, in the commercial. And I think, what was it on the fight the other? What UFC fight was that where you said karma isn't a bitch, it's a mirror?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But that's true. And it's like, look, you could have abandoned your clients, your fitness clients, and no one would have really judged you, right? You would, it's COVID, right? Hey, there's nothing I could do. And you would have been justified, but you didn't. And that says everything about you.
Well, because I would know that in my heart.
Well, exactly. But some people don't care. That's the reality. Is some people wouldn't have cared, and you didn't. And look how it's transpired.
You know what? I'm sorry I interrupted you,
No,
but this happened literally 4 days ago. I just sold a dirt bike of mine that I've had. It's a project dirt bike. So let me start off with this. It's a 2005 dirt bike, okay?
Yeah.
2005 dirt bike. Me and my mechanic that I've known basically my whole life, the whole responsibility of me knowing how to work on anything is this man named Rick Haxick. Best mechanic in town. I swear.
So if you got a dirt bike, you got to go to Rick.
I swear this guy, he should be a rocket scientist. Yeah. He knows everything about dirt bikes. And anyways, we tore this motor down to the bone, took the guts out. We put a new transmission, top in, all kinds of stuff. Okay? And the only reason I did this, I'm sorry, I'm getting to the point here.
No, let's
go.
The
only
reason
reason
I love
I
it.
did this is because I believe in karma, and I don't want to go to the track by myself on my new bike and break my leg because I sold a crappy product in the motocross industry to somebody else. I fixed up and put money into this dirt bike to sell it because I didn't want to sell him a old clapped out 2005 dirt bike. And I did that because in my heart, I didn't want to just be like, oh, that guy's going to
he's going to get it.
Fix a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
It, right? I fixed it and worked my butt off to do it. But at the same time, you know, I think I met a Karen of a man, if you will.
Yeah. What would his name be? I don't want to say Ken, but it's close.
I don't know. He couldn't really. He's a short man. I think he had little man syndrome, but he complained about all the littlest things that probably you could fix with a screwdriver or $12 for a spark plug.
Yeah.
I mean, it was wild, but I was like, you know, I did all this work.
You're still going to complain.
My point that I'm getting to is no matter what you do, there's always going to be somebody complaining.
And they're always going to talk shit.
I had a lot of those with gym. I was like, dude, I sold my gym and gave you a better membership and you're still complaining. But in my heart, I know I did the right thing with the gym and that dirt bike.
Yeah.
And that was just another lesson. With the gym, I did my best. I did everything I could to follow up with my promise, just like the same thing I followed up my promise with that dirt bike. It's a 2005 dirt bike. There's going to be problems with it.
100%.
It's a dirt bike.
Yeah. It's been, I mean, from 2005 to now, it's been rode through hell and back.
Yeah.
And it's going to have issues, right? It's like buying a used car and expecting everything to be perfect.
Yeah.
And I got you got my mind down a rabbit hole because, like you, I had tough childhood and it caused some fucking anger issues, like some demons that you just lash out the whole nine for a long period of my life. And ironically, I reacted to everything. Like, I mean, you could say one thing and I reacted. You could do one thing. Everything was reactional, right? It's all it was. But here, I'm not. In this life, I'm not. With my kids, I'm not. With my wife anymore, yeah, do I still get angry at things? Absolutely. Still jump off sides, still react to things. But from where I was, call it 5, 7, 10 years ago, I reacted to 99% of things. Now I probably react to 1 to 5, right? Mm-hmm. Outside of the exception of my wife and kids, I don't give a fuck what happens. There's not a whole lot that you could throw me off. As long as they're okay, man, everything else can be figured out. But one of the things that's really weird for me, and I'm interested in your thoughts on this, is how do you overcome that, right? Because there's people out there, at that point in time, one, I didn't know there was anything wrong with me, right? I just thought that's who I was. I didn't even know if I was even paying attention. But when I started to want to change, man, I felt there was no end in sight to being reactive. I thought that was like, man, I don't want to act like this way. Why am I acting this way? Mm-hmm. And now, man, it's so strange. But when a problem comes up, no different. We had opened results in end of November of 19, and COVID hit 4 months later, and they're talking about you can't door knock. Most of roofing is done door knocking, right? Everything I learned in roofing was door knocking. I wanted to be on social media. I was telling you that earlier, but everyone was telling me you're done. I watched roofing companies go out of business. I watched gyms go out of business. I watched friends and family that own gyms, worked at gyms, man, with kids, people that I hired, trained, developed, didn't have the money to feed their family. And that was tough. And now I have a pregnant wife. I have a young son that's a year and a half. I opened a new company, and there's no salary. There's no nothing. It's like, hey, it's me. And I remember not one point in time I was nervous. And I think it was for me now what I challenged myself with. And I was just telling my son on the way here, because he was talking about, Dad, I'm scared of that. I said, what are you scared of? And he's like, no. It's like, hey, Connor, you're scared and excited and love, they're all the same thing. They're manufactured feelings, right? Like scared is the same as excited. It's just how do you want to see it? Yeah. When you walk into a haunted house, you can either be excited or scared, right? It's up to you to determine which feeling that is. But what I know is that feeling's going to pass. Yeah. And they're your emotions, and you're not going to be happy. Happy is not a destination. It's a feeling, right? Anger is a feeling. It's not a destination. You're not going to just be angry 24/7, right? Yeah. It's going to come and go. And, man, I've just challenged myself when a feeling comes in. I'm like, okay, this is going to pass. No matter what it is, even if it's bad. I mean, there's things that hurt. There's things that are said that are hurt. There's things that make you really excited, right? The other end, like somebody's gassing you up on you're the man, you get excited. I've learned to, okay, Dustin, this is going to pass, whether it be 10 minutes, an hour. And then once it passes, let me work through that feeling and then see it. And then I go, but I keep myself grounded in all these feelings. They're not fake, but they're not real. Fear doesn't exist. It's me manufacturing something. So what I started telling myself was, I used to hate talking in front of people. Although I was the loud, obnoxious kid that wanted the center of attention, I actually had a fear of talking in front of people, right? Mm-hmm. Most people don't know this. One of my biggest fears in the world, snakes, but outside of that is heights. I'm deathly afraid of heights. Okay. And I own a roofing company. Yeah. First time I tried to get on a roof, I couldn't do it. That'd be awesome. It was I couldn't get off the ladder. It was shaking. It was like I was doing core for the first time. I was shaking. And I got down, and
it looks like those people in the crate doing the thing.
Yeah, that's what the crate challenge. It was get Dustin on a ladder on a fucking roof challenge. Should have filmed that. Would have been all over. It would have went viral. And I just told myself, this is manufactured. Yeah. Like, why don't I be excited about this, what it could provide for my family? And I just told myself that. I was like, this is exciting. And then now I'm on 2, 3, 4 stories, commercial buildings, apartment complexes. I'm on ladders, and I'm walking these like I'm a fucking pro. Yeah. And I'm not scared anymore because I told myself that fear was just excitement. Yep. And so I'm wondering for you, from being so reactionary, I know the therapy and stuff, when you have a situation like that, you said, I spent 15 years, I got a degree, this is all I worked for, and it's coming down for something that's not it's out of your hands. You had the ultimate victim card. COVID did it. It's not me. Sorry. What went on in your mind when that happened, and how did you process that?
The best way I can explain it is kind of painting a picture for you is a scenario. Okay. Yeah. And then we'll get into the guts of it. I'm sure you might have heard this, but someone asked, say we're in an Uber. Yep. Okay. And we're going through traffic, and all of a sudden this person cuts us off, and it's clearly that person's fault. And he gets out of the car, and he's yelling at the Uber driver, and he's and the Uber driver just smiling, waves at him, smiles and waves, even though he didn't do any. Our Uber driver didn't do anything, and we're sitting in the back, like, why are you so nice? She's like, well, picture it like this: people drive around with trash and they dump it all over other people because of what they're going through. Just wave, they'll get through it, and just be positive. Everything that you do is all reactional. How you react to something is how your life is going to be.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to act and react in a trashy way, then you're going to be trash. If you want to react in a good way, your life is going to react in a great, pleasant way. So basically, you know, I'm not into politics, and I don't want to go down this rabbit hole at all, but, you know, the government shut us down, and it was basically trash being dumped on me, and I had to react a positive way to receive positive vibes, if you will.
Yeah, no.
And receive positive things. So I had to figure out a way to service my clients still. I had to figure out a way to not fail them and just close the doors on them and take their money. I got them a new facility. So that was one thing that I learned through my self-help and self-discover is reaction. How you react to things is how your life is going to be. What you surround yourself with, I know everybody's heard this, who you hang around is who you are.
100%.
Okay? So if you hang around with a bunch of druggies, drug dealers, people that drink all the time or just talk trash or always they strive for drama, you're going to be a drama queen.
I'm not into drama. You were the first one to say, though, I hate drama, but you're all drama.
Yeah. Right? Those are the people that are red flags that people say, I hate drama, but they're literally talking
They
about
love a drama. It's a hard place to get to,
people
though, man.
That don't talk about drama will never say that.
Yeah, because they don't need to.
Because there's no drama.
I don't know what that is. I don't have that. I don't. But it's a hard place to get to, man. I know we were talking about, you know, confidence and getting to where I was super insecure for a long time and overcompensated probably with anger, right? It was, I'm going to be angry at everything so then nothing can affect me, right? It was that type of deal. Yeah. Oh, you're tough as nails, but you weren't. You're the weakest guy in the room. But it's a tough place to get to. It's a tough place. Ironically, probably for me, it was the hardest thing to go through because I wanted everyone to like me. I wanted everyone to, because I was, you know, the poor kid and got made fun of because I didn't have, you know, it's like I sympathize with what you went through because I remember getting made fun of in 6th grade art class because I had second-hand shoes that had holes in them, and they're like, oh, let's make Dustin a new pair of shoes today. I went home and fucking cried about that.
I literally have no joke. Does your grandma have a circle photo frame that has every picture of your grades?
Yeah.
Well, me and my brother both have one. And we have a picture frame of our grade school pictures all the way to our senior year. From kindergarten.
Yeah, it goes all the way up.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And so we were so poor. Me and my brother wore this. We had he obviously was older than me, and I was younger. So
same outfits.
We had the same shirt.
Yeah.
3 years in a row, and you could see the collar getting stretched out to here. I was poor too.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
My mom did a great job raising us. We just didn't have. We weren't.
Just didn't have money. Yeah. And people made fun of you, and it developed an insecurity for a long time.
Yeah.
And it made me want people to like me. And so therefore no one liked me because I wasn't who I wanted to be. And then it's like you said earlier, you go, hey man, if you don't like me, that's on you. And that's where I just don't care. Not to say I'm going out acting like an asshole to people. That's not. I try to give back whenever I can to be, you know, nice to people. And when people shit on me, I'm like, hey man, that says everything about you. It says nothing about me. When people ask for money or a favor, and then, you know, I use it like this: if you open the door to get the thank you, your shit's broken. You should open the door because it's the right thing to do because you want to do. If you get angry because someone doesn't say thank you when you hold the door open, then you're doing it for the wrong reason. You're doing it for the thank you instead of doing it because it's the right thing. That says about them, not me. I held the door open because that's the way I was, you know, whether it's raised or I feel like it's right. I say thank you. If they don't say you're welcome, it is what it is. That's on them, not on me. I just stopped. What I found was I stopped caring what other people thought of me, what I portrayed they were thinking of me, and I just started doing what I enjoyed, and I became authentic. I became who I was, and then when I realized more people liked me because then they could sense the authenticness, and for the people that didn't, I was like, respect. As you know, hey, if you don't like me, there's no hard feelings there.
So this morning when I was doing my morning cardio, and I like to get my blood flowing, I like to call it my creative juices flowing.
Yeah.
I thought about something I wanted to talk about on this podcast, and it directly has to do with confidence. Okay, and where it is developed from. And I know you're going to agree with this. Confidence is from putting your best effort forward and knowing and believing that you did, and that's where confidence comes from. Okay, so let's just say this. We both had our history where we were angry and not confident and stuff, and you did a lot of things to get where you are to be confident. Okay, so I'm going to give you my storyline. So I couldn't play team sports very well, right? So I got into motocross. It's a very high consequence industry to be in.
Lots of injuries.
Lots of injuries. But I know that I put my best foot forward. I mean, I crashed my brains out. I would watch the pros and go out there and try to do it without. No one in my family rode motorcycles, by the way. Nobody.
So where'd you get that from? I know you went viral, so I'm listening, but I'm gonna pull this up.
You're gonna pull this up?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull this up.
So basically, I just kind of watched dirt bikes. A neighbor down the street had a dirt bike, and I mowed lawns, and I got into it, and just loved the single sport. And I just have, I guess I have a screw loose where I like to ride motorcycles. But with that being said, motocross really brought me to confidence to this day, because I always, at the motocross track as a young kid, always was the most endurance athletes, the most in shape athlete, because I would go home from racing. Nobody did this back in motocross back in the day. Nobody worked out. Nobody ran. They just went to dirt bike track and spent all their money on their dirt bikes to go fast.
That's it.
So I trained for it, and I would go. My practice days were way harder than race days. I mean, I beat myself training. So when I went to the racetrack, it was just like cake. I even had people come up to me and like, "Are you even tired?" I was like, "No, this was easy."
Yeah, I was ready for
this. I would
this.
smoke people. And the only reason was because I put my best foot forward. I did all of these things to be the best person or best athlete I could. Therefore, I came to the races, looked side to side, and I was going to smoke them. I even said it out loud to myself. I'm going to smoke all these clowns, all of them. The same thing today. I call everybody in my address book, my book. I do everything I can to make sure that I'm the most pleasant, outgoing, positive person I can be, even though I spell terribly on the internet and everybody makes fun of me.
Yeah,
even though I say everything wrong with slurs and stuff, I still try, and I come with confidence.
Yeah.
And I know, like, for instance, when I started with Rogers Healy and all these big honchos, we did this field trip. We're doing one today. We did this field trip with all these guys that are veterans in the industry. And I came in that room. We did like a happy hour, and all these guys are making millions. And I haven't made a dime, okay? And I took over the spotlight because I came in there and shook everyone's hand. I got everyone's business card. I had the funniest conversations, and the only reason people like me is because I came up to them with confidence, and they're like, "Who the hell is this Turner dude?"
Yeah.
Like Rogers got that a lot. The other guy that's over the commercial industry, like, who is this Turner dude? And the only reason behind it is just because I always put my best foot forward to make that person feel good. Or whatever the situation is, confidence comes from you trying. What you did back in the day, you tried to be the best on social media in the roofing industry when you started. You tried to be the best, the first guy in fitness industry, and you became one of the best fitness guys. You did the best numbers, right? You did all those things to get to you there because you took this legwork. You got yourself in shape. Whatever it is, that's where confidence comes from, is the work that people don't see most of the time.
Yeah.
That's where confidence comes from. Now, I did too, back in the day, say these two things. I'm not a salesperson, and I'm also not a spokesperson. I'm one of the best salespeople and the best spokesperson you could probably find in my circle group. I have confidence in that, and if someone talk trash about that, that's fine. I'll do better. Tell me what I suck at, so I can get better at it.
Exactly.
And I'm still gonna have confidence no matter what you say to me. It's how you react to it. Right? So I'm talking about confidence.
Yep.
And people dumping their trash on you. So doing the legwork to get the confidence. And for any person that you know that's successful, I will also say that person, I could tell you the same person that's failed many times. Okay?
Countless.
Yeah. So.
But you only have to be right one time.
Exactly.
That's it.
Right? So, a lot of people don't have a support system during those times. But, man, my girlfriend, that's now my wife now, saw me what I like to call the idea fairy. I had that idea beat me a lot
Every day.
and I failed on a lot of things. And she supported me through every stupid ass idea I had, and I put a lot of money and time into it. And she still supports me and is the best woman in the world. And that just goes back to what we were talking about earlier: is who you are, is who you hang around, having a good support system, and that also means that you have a small circle.
Yeah, man, and you can't be afraid when, we look, having the confidence comes from the hard work, preparation, and knowing that, for me, I know that I could do everything I got to and still come up short. And I'm okay with that because I'm going to do everything I had to, right? There's no guarantees you're going to fucking win. There's no guarantees that you're going to get to where you want to be, because here's a crazy thing about life. You can do all the right things at the right place, at the right time. You can give it everything you have. And I mean everything, not saying you gave everything. I'm talking about you could give all the late nights for years and years and years and still not win. Yeah. And life doesn't care, man. Yeah. And it's easy to play the victim. But what I think where people that are successful over time and break through is because even during all those failures, they keep going, right? Because they're not worried about that. You don't have to be right one time, because the confidence knows that I gave it everything I had. It just didn't work out. Yeah. Where insecurity creeps in and where you start playing the victim and blaming people is, you didn't give it everything you had.
That's where insecurity comes from.
And you didn't do what you needed to do. So you're going to fucking blame somebody else and say, hey, I didn't get there because he did that. No, you didn't get there because you didn't fucking get there. It's on you.
And you didn't try.
You didn't give it everything you had. You could have did that one other thing, right? And I never want to ever look back and go, man, if I would have did that, what would happen? Because I never want to say what if, ever. And it's, for me, it's just, it's constantly like, I don't give a shit about what I suck at. I just don't. People are like, you can't do this. I'm like, well, that's why I'm in roofing. It's like, I don't.
Like, for instance, I flew that. You have this right here, Lewis Howes. Lewis Howes has one of the most famous podcasts in the world, The School of Greatness.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Okay.
Legend.
This is in Beverly Hills and his studio. He invited me to his studio. You know how I got that meeting? I sold a shit ton of his conferences tickets.
Yeah.
So I could have a podcast with him. Okay. I sucked ass at podcasts at this time.
But you got it.
Yeah. I got to go in. It was number 19 I had. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Okay. It probably still wasn't that great of a podcast, but he invited me in and let me do this, and it turned out to be okay. It was a lot of fun doing it. I literally flew there, did the podcast, and ran back to the airport and flew home. Like, I was there for the podcast in Beverly Hills and flew back.
That's awesome.
And I mean, you look how delirious I was.
Yeah.
All right. And like, that just came with confidence. I didn't give a shit, but at least I tried my best. Even if I was terrible, it was an experience to learn from, to build from, and to be a better me. And I'm still trying to be better at podcasts. So sometimes, like, I'm like, oh, that was terrible.
Yeah, I mean? You're like, oh, they didn't. It's like awkward. I don't know what to do with my hands. Yeah. Hey, we got Joe here today. Oh, it's Turner.
Hey, Joe.
It's. I get asked why I would want to start a podcast. I'm already super busy, and I have, the time is the thing I can't get back. Yeah. And everything that I do, I look at it. It is an addition or subtraction, and it takes away from my family. It takes away from my kids. My kids are my world, man. So my wife was going on a girls' weekend she's going on a girls' weekend, so she's planning to go like a spa day for a weekend or whatever.
Cool.
Hey, why don't we get grandma and babysitter to watch the kids for the weekend, and you go have a guys' weekend? Sounds reasonable. You go to Vegas, go wherever you want, right?
Yeah.
I said, how about I'll take the guys? She's like, the guys, and by guys I meant Connor and Kobe, my kids, and say I want to go to Disney. She's like, well, but go enjoy yourself. Go have guy time. I love my friends, man. I love them, but you get so busy that it takes away from everything. Like me going to play golf on a Saturday takes away from my family, or it takes away from the business, right? It takes, and I don't mean from the business from a greed standpoint. I mean the business that, we have over 50 employees, man. Their families are counting on me. Mm-hmm. So it's tough, man. Even on vacation, I set aside, when we were on vacation in Florida, I set aside 3 to 5 hours a day so I could get work done, right? Follow people, because there's not just me anymore, man. And you touched on something earlier about, you said when this all happened during COVID, you started thinking of, I got to provide for my queen, right? It's a two-way. And that's the fucking realest thing that I think a lot of people don't understand, and they just don't get it, and I don't understand why, is that gratitude and doing things for other people is always going to win. And for me, when I don't want to get up in the morning and I don't want to go to work, because when you work 24/7, there's days you're tired. There's mental days. There's probably, there's probably 2 to 5, 6 days a month. I just don't want to work. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to answer my phone. I don't want to get up. I fucking hate it. I'm like,
have that.
yeah,
We're humans.
but people don't realize that, right? But you still get them to do it. Why? Because I look over and I see my wife and I see my kids and I go, what if I let them down? What if I let down the 50 employees results roofing kids? What if I let down their wife? What if I let down their families? And so for me, it's about, I can't let them down. And so I started doing things. I stopped being so selfish, being like, oh, Dustin's got to go chase 6 figures. Dustin's got to get a new car. Dustin wants a new house. It was, I need to provide for my wife. I need to provide for my family. I got to provide for all the other 50 other families that work for us that provide for. And when you start doing it for other people, man, and you start having that, you're grateful for the people around you, and you're grateful for everything you have. Weird stuff starts happening. It's like it falls in the line because you're giving more. And this is what the podcast came from. I want to put other people on blast. I wanted to, hey man, let's use this nice room we built that we made for roofing. But what if I can get someone that's coming up in the real estate industry, man? What if I can get someone to show, hey man, I see what you're doing. It's cool. I support that, right? And I want to put you on. I want to put other people on. It was so ironic as everybody, why would you do it? I'm like, I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for other people. That's generally why I want to do it, is to help those people. And I just don't think that doesn't click for people. They're always looking for what they can get. Yeah. And that's where you don't get to where you want to be. Until you get to a place where you're going to get everybody around you what they want first, you'll never get what you want.
Yeah. There is something I'm going to touch on. I'm not going to say any names. Okay. But when my gym was going through crap and we were pulling from my savings and then also my wife, which really took a hit.
Yeah,
not cool. And we sold the gym to the other one, right? To the other gym down the road. And I had one employee or staff member that basically saw a photo on social media and sent me a screenshot of that social media post and said, I hope this was worth you fucking over all your members and me included. I was in immediate rage because before that, it was a photo of me and my wife getting brand new cars, and we paid in full for them, okay? Prior to this, my truck broke down. I had no truck. We were sharing a car. I had saved for this, and my wife basically just traded hers in. She just had to pay taxes, right? And so during this time, I was saving for a car. We were living in my mom's house. We were building a house we have right now. So saving for my new truck, and Stephanie just needed a new car, and so she traded her in and just had to pay taxes. So it was like basically nothing.
Yeah.
So we got these new cars, and she sent that photo to me. And this is during when I just sold the business, okay? This person doesn't realize that was also none of her business. The gym was failing. We weren't making any money. It was taking money from my savings account. I was pulling money out of my savings account to pay you, this person.
Yep.
And I upgraded everybody's memberships to a better facility, and it was not a 12-month contract. It was month to month, and you can cancel anytime, which means that you could get out of the contract
today.
Okay?
Yeah.
I did all of these things, and I was looking out for the other person, and I was always working to help people, and they didn't even know, right? So basically what kind of relating to what you said is that I worked hard to help people, and sometimes it just doesn't work out for that person, or they don't realize it in their time frame in their life. But I have confidence, I'm just trying to loop in everything we're talking about, is that I put my best foot forward, that I did do my best to not fuck over that person. And I hope that person hears this podcast one day and understands the real history of what happened behind that situation. I didn't take any money from that gym. I saved it over about 6 months so I could have a vehicle. And I paid you out of my savings account so you could eat, right? And what you said was very hurtful, but I know I put my best foot forward, and I did everything I could, and I'm confident in that. And so being that even when it's your family member or a parent or a loved one, sometimes those people don't, if you have a girlfriend, guys, or if you have a boyfriend, girls and guys, if they don't see some work that you're putting in and you're doing everything you can to help them or help your situation, your relationship, sometimes they'll take a dump on you. Like I said, that trash man will dump the trash on you, but it's all about how you react to it. And just know that you put all those steps forward to be confident that you did, and what happens is going to happen. And this is the strongest words that it could come out of anybody. It is what it is.
Yeah. But if your intent's always good, you don't have anything to worry about. And people, like, when I get people that make mistakes, they're like, why do you keep them when you get upset and you get mad? I get upset when your intent's bad. If your intent's good, man, I can work through any problem. When your intent's bad and I can sense your intent was bad, that's if you want to get me jump off sides is have someone's intent bad. I don't want those people in my life, and I'll cut them out immediately, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay because I don't want that in my life. I don't need it, because if your intent's bad, man, you're intentionally trying to screw somebody over. Now, in your situation, hey, maybe it didn't work out for everybody. Like you said, it is what it is. Maybe some members were upset, or they have their feelings, right? It's not right or wrong. You in your heart try to do with intent what you thought was right, and that's what matters, right? Yeah. Now, they can get upset, and they have every right to be upset, right? Just like you have the right to do what you did, they have the right to be upset. But if the intent's good, man, that's what you should focus on. That's what people should focus on, is watch people's intent.
Yeah, so that's kind of what has been driving me into the new industry, is that people know that I'm a man of my word.
Yeah.
I've had, for instance, one of my tattoo artist, my only tattoo artist I have that does this work, he's always said, every time I see him, he's always he loves me so much, which is odd because he doesn't like very many people at all. He's just very to himself a kind of guy, and I love the guy. And he always says, "You always been that guy that's done what he said he was going to do." Because I'm sure as a tattoo artist, you hear all this bullshit that people talk about that they're going to do and they never do. Yeah. And that's what kind of carries on into real estate, is that I will do everything I need to do. I will help you out. I'll help you move if I need to, even though I'm not a mover. I'm a realtor. Yeah. I will do what I need to make sure that you are confident. And I'm dealing with those people's livelihoods, whether it's their business or whether they're going to be living with their kids and their wife and their family. That's kind of why my business has been so successful, I think. Obviously, I don't really know everything here, guys. I don't know why things happen, but I believe the reason why I've been successful in the business so quickly in the fitness, the real estate industry, I almost said fitness. The real estate industry is because who I am. Who I am is a person that really goes and does the research, making sure I'm not just throwing BS numbers at people just to get a sale, because I know I've been in business long enough to know that this is a word-of-mouth business. No matter what you're in, people are going to talk about you. And if you do them right, it's going to take you a long way. If you do them wrong, it's going to take you even a negative way very quickly and way faster, because people remember the wrongdoings more than they do the good doings. Oh, yeah,
all the time.
I love to talk about wrongdoings.
Hey, when you wake up in the morning, you don't say, "Oh, I made it to work. It was a great day. It was sunny, no traffic." You're like, "What do we talk about? Look at us. We were like fucking traffic, and there's a wreck." Yeah. That's what you talk about.
I thought I was going to be late. I was like, oh, man, because I'm one of those punctual guys. I'm like, oh, my God, I'm going to be 3 minutes late.
That's why the news is the news. You want to show what's bad. Yeah. So I love it, man. We'll wrap this up. How can people get a hold of you? Obviously, for real estate, you're new, and I know we touched on that, but I don't think that matters, man, because I see people that have been in real estate 3, 4, 5 years that aren't doing what you're doing, right? So it's not about how long you've been in real estate. I think it's how effective and how you treat your clients. And I think when you're listening to this, it's like, okay, what type of person do you want to work with? You want to work with somebody that's been doing real estate for 10 years but doesn't care about your wants and needs, or you're going to go with somebody that's been doing it 8 months but that's willing to go help you move, that's intent's good. I know for me, man, I want the person I don't care how long you've been in real estate. I want the person that's going to be there for me, find out what I want, find out what I need. And maybe I'm a little biased because of the fitness industry, but I know for me, I know it transitioned into roofing was because in fitness, what did you have to overcome? You overcame objections, and you had to overcome people's wants and needs. It wasn't just nobody literally want to go work out. You want to go work out to feel a certain way or to look a certain way. And so when somebody walks into your gym, they had some triggers and they had some whys. And there were some deep, dark demons that we know you uncovered over the 15 years where, I've had people, from deathbeds to my spouse was cheating on me because I gained too much weight to, I remember one guy, man, I cried. He goes, my son said, "Mommy's boyfriend plays catch with me." And I was like, I mean, I thought he was joking.
Yeah.
And he was, no, man, my wife has been seeing someone, because he was up to like 300 pounds, and when he met, he was like, under 200. I was crying. And this was obviously years ago. It was tough. And so it was. But what I realized with roofing is, it's not just a roof. It's like, okay, if I'm working with you and your wife, it's like, before we go through all this, what do you want? What do you need? Like, how can I help you get your roof? Because if I can't, then maybe there's another roofer that's better for you, right? But if I can uncover some of your wants and needs, because it's not just a roof replacement. There's things that are important to you on your property. There's things that are important to you as far as color, the way it's put on, things that go back, maybe ventilation, things to protect on the property. Obviously, we try to protect everything, but you might have something special out there that needs extra caution, right? There's just things that go into it that's what you're looking for, and I try to take that same from the fitness industry. And I see, when I watch you on social media, this is outsider, I see you doing those same type of things. Like you're trying to get people's wants and needs to be able to help them in the real estate market.
Due diligence.
100%.
Yeah.
So
yeah, definitely 100%. It's all about doing your due diligence, no matter what you're doing, whether it's relationship, real estate, no matter what.
Yeah.
I will say, to answer your question, I probably am one of the easiest people to find. A lot of social media, you have to come up with clever names and stuff. I got into the social media industry pretty quick. So you can find literally me anywhere. It says Turner Cavender.
Yeah.
My handles on social media, YouTube. If you want to listen to Jamodi podcast, that's the only thing that I do that doesn't have Turner Cavender in, or TurnerCavenderRealEstate.com.
Yeah, and get your real estate needs, and you can watch I'm amazed by Lewis house.
The one video you're talking about.
Yes,
Crazy Kid on Dirt Bike. It is. It's Crazy Kid on Dirt. It's not on mine. It's actually my neighbor's YouTube that he makes money off still today. There's like $1.1 million views. I saw just me being crazy on a dirt bike when I was thinking back in 2006.
Crazy Kid on Dirt Bike.
Yeah.
So I saw this, and I don't know how I saw it. Maybe I saw it on your page.
Really? That has my name attached to it.
Okay, maybe that's how it came up as one of the. Maybe that's how I saw this, and I go, "Wait, is this him?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "This dude."
It's literally my backyard. My neighbor's filming it from his bedroom upstairs on the second floor, and then he posted it back then, and it just, I don't know why, but even I'll go like motocross races back in the day, and people are like, "You're the crazy kid on dirt bike." Like, I guess, yeah.
You're like, yeah, that's me. I'm Turner Cavender, also known as Crazy Kid on Dirt Bike.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. Yeah, that is a lot of character here. It explains a lot of who I am. Just a wacky guy.
I love it.
I might be business guy, but I'm also kind of funny.
I might be the crazy.
At least I think I'm funny, so I'll laugh at myself.
I think we got to do a follow-up video, Crazy Realtor on Dirt Bike.
Oh, yeah, I'll do it. There's actually some realtor in California that did that.
Really?
He's like, you want your realtor to be super cool? Check out this guy who rides dirt bikes, and he's a real estate agent.
That is all. You have to. We'll film it. We'll film it.
Right there. This one.
1.1 million views.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it. I was like, there's the man, the myth, the legend himself.
I have sandals on riding a 450.
That's not recommended, folks.
No, it's not. I just ride through the woods and act like an idiot. This is not even the best part. The best part's the end of it. It's only 1 minute and 58 seconds, so.
And 1.1 million views.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I don't know why I got so popular.
And did you know he was filming?
I had no clue. I was just being a jackass neighbor.
Yeah.
Because this is our backyard's kind of meet in the woods right here. So I was just like, I was bored and I was just riding my dirt bike around. And I think this is where it starts to get weird.
Call the cops.
Yeah.
Were y'all friends?
Yeah, we're buddies. Yeah,
okay,
we rode dirt bikes. He had dirt bikes.
Okay.
I got him basically into riding dirt bikes. We just rode. We built some trails back there in the woods, and I think this is the funny part. I basically stop like a deer in headlights, and then take off like a weirdo, and keep slamming on the brakes, and take off again. I don't know why that's funny.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Yep, that's it.
So if you want to find the Crazy Kid on Dirt Bike, who also does real estate, the Crazy Realtor on Dirt Bikes, Rogers Healy, Turner Cavender, you can find him anywhere on social media.
That's right.
Hey, man,
That's right.
Thanks for coming on.
Of course,
it's been
man.
a blast.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Cool. That's it.